Yo, what is going on, y'all? You in the zone with V and Z. We back again, man. It's low key playoff time. It's been playoff time.
I'm
Shit.
about to say it's been that way. We shit 5, 6 weeks into the playoffs now.
Yeah, it's been playoff time for the last 5 weeks, and we are heading into the most important game of the regular season. It's the final game of the regular season. The number two seed is on the line, the division is on the line. If you are a true football fan and not just a Bills Miami fan, this is what it's all about. I don't know, we've seen for years, sometimes week 18 don't mean much for certain teams. Sometimes it's draft position, sometimes we got teams.
Pride,
Yeah, sometimes you got people you resting people. Shit, we went through it back in 2020 when we were 13-3. That was a game where we played Miami in the last game and we played them for a half. And then
smack them boys.
Matt Barkley came in the second half and threw some more touchdowns. Like that was like the best we've seen on offense probably in the last 5 years was that 2020 season. But we'll dive into some things and hopefully we can get some more flashes of that because that offense was outstanding. Like we were lighting up teams without even trying, it seemed like. So anyway, again, we glad to get back to y'all. Obviously we're gonna start off with recapping off things, but we definitely want to say Happy New Year's again to y'all people out there, man. Hopefully y'all brought it in the right way. We told y'all to stay safe. We told y'all to obviously be thankful. But how was your New Year's, Z? Anything special, man?
Nah, not at all, bro. After the game, I ain't had no energy. I didn't even make it to midnight.
Yeah,
I think I
nah,
looked at the clock, it was 11:04, and then woke up the next morning.
yeah, right. And obviously the best gift we had was being alive and the Bills surviving another stressful game, right? Me and you, we were both at the game, so ain't no views from the couch this week. So we was
Not
both
this
in
week.
there live in the stadium, had a chance to tailgate a little bit together. So we don't gotta waste too much time because this is really all about Bills Miami. But what was your quick thoughts on the game, man?
Uh, the defense is balling.
Yeah,
It's, I mean, physical, flying, back to the takeaway game. I mean, Rasul Douglas single-handedly caused 3 turnovers and probably should have had another one.
right.
I mean, his jump on the ball is crazy. Like when he decisively decides, like, yeah, I'm jumping this route,
Mhm.
it's like a work of art. The way he can read a play, like I'm like, damn, bro, how long is this playmaking has been missing from the defense? I mean, shit, as good as Trey's been, he ain't been a takeaway machine like this since probably what, rookie
2020.
year?
Well, probably
Yeah,
2020. I think 2020 might have been that all pro season I think he had. So
yeah. It's just like we haven't had a corner with this amount of takeaways in some minute. It's been some time since we really had somebody from this position that's game in and game out really a threat to take that ball away. But just first possession interception, second possession fumble, third possession interception. Like it should, I'm like, yo, this how we rolling? Shit, the amount of turnovers they had in the first quarter, this game should have been over by the first. But
should have been.
this trash ass offense, it's kept them in the game longer than they should have. But my biggest takeaways is it's nice to see this defense starting to dominate. Again, giving up 14 points. I don't care what offense you playing. I'll take that any day of the week to giving up 14 points
Right.
on defense. I'm taking that all day with no hesitation. So they've been balling. Offense still just can't get out their own way.
Right.
And I feel like it's just been it's not just Josh, it's not just the receivers, it's not just the O line. It's just a combination of everything. It's just always this one thing going wrong where you have the right play dialed up, receivers actually get separation, and then Mitch Morrison, Spencer Brown both get beat. Actually, it wasn't even Brown; it was the inside. It was the guards and the centers that was really getting beat. It was up the middle
Yeah.
that was really causing some issues. But it's just this shit ain't clicking right now, and this
Yeah.
is not 1 week, not 2 weeks, not 3 weeks, not 4 weeks. Like it's just this has been an ongoing thing for the last month or so,
Yeah.
where Josh and the boys just aren't clicking.
Yeah, I think it to me that it boils down to, and we'll get into the defense in a second. It's all about being consistent for me.
Mhm.
They can consistently do both when they commit to being a well-oiled, balanced offense. Like we saw, I know the Dallas game wasn't a balanced game because they just ran the ball 90 times, but we know they can run the ball effectively when they commit to it. We know in any kind of weather, they can throw the ball around when they are executing the plays that they're supposed to execute, when they're catching the ball. We saw against Philadelphia. Philadelphia,
Bro, these drops are killing me.
right? The drops, the air throws from Josh, the
Mhm.
just untimely, I think, miscommunication. So it's like for me offensively, it's to me about finding that consistent groove because they've shown it in certain areas that they can put up points. I mean, like I said, I still remember the Philadelphia game because it's still fresh in my head. Like we lost that game in overtime, but like they showed they can go toe to toe with a
And
top.
that was probably the last game the offense actually
Right.
looked potent. Well, I
Well,
mean
man,
Dallas too, but that
right,
yeah,
right, balance. Because we know in Dallas
yeah,
they dominated that game,
yeah,
but
that was just
from a
bully
run,
ball.
yeah, that was just run support. I mean, from a running perspective, but like for this team to reach their highest potential, they gotta effectively, for me, do both. And when
Hmm.
they effectively run the ball, when they can effectively pass the ball from short to medium to deep, because that's the thing I'm missing from the passing game is like it seemed like one game we'll get the short game and the medium game going, but we can't get the long one. Or we'll get a game where we get a couple long ones going like we did against the Chargers, but then can't connect underneath. So hey, week 18 is the wrong time to talk about finding that groove, but it's not the wrong time when you're still finding ways to win. So I,
Yeah,
I do think,
I, I was just about to mention that. As much as I'm talking about the offense not clicking the last month, they also haven't lost in the last month. So again, in the midst of all this, they're still doing enough to get by.
right,
So I think it's more along the lines of, yeah, y'all win. I just need y'all to be better. Because again, playoff time, that margin for error is so much smaller.
you got to iron out those kinks. You got to iron out those mistakes, the sloppiness of the
Hmm.
fumbles, the drops, like you mentioned. Like those things fall on some of our star players too, and that's why I think that
Right.
have the opportunity to fix it because this is coming from a lot of your big money players. It's coming from Josh Allen. It's coming from Diggs. It's coming from Gabe Davis.
Yeah,
It's
you know the talent is there. That's the thing. Like,
yeah,
because you know
exactly.
any given second, all it takes is one spark, and them boys done drop 45.
Right, right. Gabe Davis, we saw it. He went what 3 games, 0 catches, and in one game he has 4 catches for 130 yards. Like that's the type of talent this team has. Is where in one game, boom, they can fix that. I mean, we almost had one play on Sunday, a deep throw to Diggs. If that connects, that's an 80-yard touchdown. And
Mhm.
now we're talking about, oh, he went over 100 yards and he had 6 catches and blah blah
There's a,
blah.
I mean, listen, there's a couple plays that I'm talking just one small thing away. I mean, I saw a couple plays like the interception that was a little bit late, a little bit underthrown. Again, on time, on target. That's the touchdown. There's
Right.
another play where Kincaid slipped open, but the pass protection broke down, so he had to leave the pocket immediately. Didn't get a chance to throw it, but he had a solid 6 7 yards of separation. So it's like they're close,
Yeah.
but close only get you so far though. They're
Yeah.
supposed to have your ass at home watching the rest of the playoffs.
Right. And that's the thing. Like you look at what the top of the top looks like. We know right now the best team in the league and the AFC especially is the Baltimore Ravens. And it's
Hmm.
like you're not beating Baltimore if you're missing those opportunities, if
Right.
you're fumbling the ball, if you're throwing interceptions. So my hope is obviously to win this week, which we'll get into the matchup, but it's just to fine tune those things because, like I said, it'd be one thing if we're like, yeah, but the Bills really don't got the talent to do it, or they are
Right.
down 8 9 players. No, they're down about 3 or 4 key starters, but we've overcame that.
Yeah.
We've had Terrell Bernard step up and play hell of a season
I
so
don't
far.
even think we down three starters no more. Shit, we just down Matt and Trey.
But two, right, two all pro players. So I mean,
Yeah.
we're not Tre'Davious White and Matt Milano, but we've had Tyrell Dotson step up. We had Ed Oliver have his best season as a
Yeah,
big
and the trade for Rasul Douglas
right.
helps
Russell
cut
Douglas.
down the loss from Trey.
Yeah, I mean that
So
that that like to be able to see like you already mentioned, so I don't have to say too much, but to be able to get a guy in November or late October, whatever it was, who's able to add that game-changing aspect to your secondary that already has two all-pro safeties back there in Poyer Hyde, and we know that they're at the end of their careers, but like now you get a fresh body in there who's a dog, who has the nose for the ball, who can who can breathe life into the energy of those other guys. Because now he
Right.
got Tanner Johnson and them boys like, yo, I want the next one. Like
Hell
usually,
yeah. Listen, bro, you let your man show up. My man got four plus interceptions, couple fumble recoveries. You think these boys don't want the next one?
that's
Like,
what I'm saying.
hold on, bro,
Right.
chill.
And these boys done did it. Like it's not even like Poyer, Hyde, and Taryn is like some young fellas that never been there. Like Taron Johnson probably got one of the biggest pick sixes in Bills history. Micah Hyde then got one of the biggest interceptions in Bills playoff history to dive an interception against the
That shit
Patriots.
was beautiful.
Yeah, thing of beauty. Poyer then did it in big moments. So it's like that's what gives me the confidence, looking forward to say like the Bills can still make this work. Like they haven't put together really their best game in over 2.5, 3 months, like from every aspect, special teams, offense, and defense. They still haven't done it, and they're on a 4-game win streak. Like that's insane.
Mhm.
Like we kind of take it for granted because we're like, oh, but the Bills we should be doing this, we should be doing that. And this we're on a 4-game win streak in the NFL where we've already seen teams get knocked off, losing the 2-win teams. We've seen teams lose to Will Levis and them boys. Like this has been a herky jerky year where weird stuff
Yeah,
had
it has been.
we've had it happen to us. I mean, the Giants almost ran out of our stadium with a victory. I mean, fucking we lost to Denver with 12 men on the field and all of that shit. So it's like this has been a weird year. And in a weird year, we still have a chance to grab the number 2 seed. So it's like we can complain, we can want more, but the reality is win one,
Hmm.
clinch that division for the 4th year in a row, which I'm sorry, but that's big. And you can dog who you want to dog, call McDermott, whatever you want to call him. That's big. But overall, I mean, who you give the game ball to outside of Reserve Douglas? Like I said,
Yeah, I've said
every week, every
outside
week.
of Douglas.
I was about to say every week we got one of those notable guys. I think James Cook was one 2 weeks ago where it was like, all right, out of James Cook. So out of Rasul Douglas, who else do you give that game ball to from Sunday?
Oh man, somebody's got to be somebody on defense. Offense ain't do a damn thing. I mean, I'll give an honorable mention to Dalton Kincaid just for getting downfield and getting that big play because
And
offense was
he
definitely
broke the
struggling.
rookie record. He broke the rookie record.
Yeah, yeah, which is dope. So I mean, definitely give him a shout out for that. But I would probably say Ed Oliver again. Like I mean, he just reeking. He on some shit right now.
Yes.
Like I got nothing else to say. This is my
Point
man
blank.
on shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
he just on shit. I mean, one hand interception.
Yeah, I had to look at that replay a couple times because obviously we in the stadium and I
They didn't
think
even show it in the stadium. They
yeah,
showed the replay like like one time. Not even.
yeah. And that's why I'm saying I was waiting because in the stadium they play the song, when they hit that doom, doom, dun dun dun. We like, wait, hold on. Are we gonna rule that an interception?
Right. It's
So
like they were scared to show it because they ain't wanted to get challenged or something. I'm
yeah,
like, bro, it's turnovers. We're gonna get challenged either way.
yeah, please like show that real quick. But nah, he made a hell of a play.
Yeah, but and then to turn around with another sack and just disruption all day. It's right. It's just becoming. I don't
It's
even
become
think twice about it no more. It's just him doing him.
and what they doing from a defensive standpoint, because we can stay on the defense, because this was more of a win for the defense. Like what they're doing, I think is really just contagious because one game you're having Leonard Floyd dominate, one game is Ed Oliver dominate, and one game it's Terrell Bernard who added 2 sacks to his total in the year.
Bro,
Uh,
6.5.
yeah, 6.5 with what 3 interceptions, three forced fumbles, or 3 fumble recoveries, whatever, over 130 tackles. Like the guy is putting up stats that we wanted from who else? We wanted from Tremaine Edmonds. Like
We
we
won
said,
it from every linebacker. We haven't
right.
had a linebacker put up stats like this.
Nah, I mean, we got all pro Matt, so no
Right, but
disrespect.
even his numbers like
Right,
wasn't like this.
right. You just
Not
felt
saying the impact wasn't
right.
there.
I'm about to
Not
say
saying that. I'm just
like Matt
comparing
Milano is
just
more of
strictly
an
numbers.
yeah. Matt Milano is more of an impact guy where you just see his play flash and you like
Yeah, I'm just saying strictly numbers.
yeah.
Where was the last time he had 6.5 sacks from the linebacker? Not counting like Lorenzo Alexander, who was really like a defensive
You
end,
might have
but
to go back to like fucking the mid '90s to Cornelius Bennett and shit. Like
right, like
I don't know, Manny Lawson or some shit. I
and we
don't.
came into the year and this was everybody's biggest hole.
was a bit, well, yeah, it was the biggest hole. I think the biggest thing was because we even talked
Yeah,
about
the
it.
biggest unknown. No one knew, and it was
It
how
was
was
the
this going to
second
work
one.
out? You let a Pro Bowl linebacker walk. You got a third round rookie who barely saw any time.
Listen,
How's this going to play out?
you
And
could
right
put him on
now, this you want to talk about putting a feather in Brandon Bean's cap?
and
Right now, this is looking like a stupid draft pick.
McDermott too because McDermott had the faith to say, you
And we
know,
good. They
yeah,
saw something.
yeah, I like what I see because remember now I was one of the biggest people this summer too. I was like, I'm
I got to
sorry.
see it, dog. I don't
I,
know.
I wasn't like I wanted Bernard to like show me something, but like I think after week one, it was either him or Dotson that was pissing me off. I can't remember who I was
Yeah,
hired on.
Bernard got hurt. Got the hamstring. He missed pretty much all the
Yeah,
preseason.
he did. So I think it
Yeah,
was
he got hurt in
Dotson.
training camp. So yeah, he missed all the preseason actually.
I wanted Christian Kirksey. That's what I was on. I wanted Christian Kirksey to be the man. And obviously he
Nigga said,
retired.
quit.
Yeah, that nigga
It's a
said,
young
fuck.
man's game, y'all.
Yeah, he said, fuck all that. I'm not waiting for y'all to put number 43 out there. And then I mean, as soon as Bernard got going, it was lights out after that. And
Mhm.
love to see
Game
it.
one.
Right. And I love to see it from a standpoint of yes, is one of our own draft picks, but it's like everybody want to talk about a window closing. But then I look at the Bills' young players who are developing, and I'm just like, what window is actually closing when we got up and coming guys like Bernard, when we got
Mm-hmm.
Oliver just entering his prime, when we
Yep.
got when we got Greg Rousseau that's still growing, when you got AJ Epinesa that's still growing, when you look at the fact
Your
that,
core, again, offense. Kincaid is young.
oh yeah,
Cook
right.
is young.
Dawson Knox,
Shakir is young.
hey, Dawson Knox,
Spencer Brown. Osiris Torrance.
yeah. Like,
McGovern's not old.
yeah, Josh Allen's still in his prime. So it's like when people talk about the window, I'm like, yeah, we know we're gonna lose our safeties. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's a couple spots that need I mean, that secondary, them
Right.
safeties gonna have to get retooled.
But
Gonna
you
have to
talk
retool
about,
the receivers a little bit. But other than that, your
yeah,
pieces are intact.
you talking about 70% of our D line is not going nowhere. You talking about 100% of our linebackers not going anywhere. You're getting a plus back next year because Matt Milano's coming back. You talking
Bro,
about
listen, if Bernard can stay anywhere close to the level he's playing at right now and have Milano come back on top of that, man, yeah,
that's the thing.
that's
We saw bits and pieces of that early. Like we
mm-hmm.
saw in the Washington game. I was out there for that Commanders game. Him and Milano was looking like fucking, I don't know, like
It
Ravens
was
2000. Like,
flying.
yeah, them boys was all over the place. And that was the game I think Bernard had 2 interceptions. So like the like that's why I can't talk, obviously Bills football with a lot of people or even outsiders who don't know really what the talent that the Bills have. Like, oh, the Bills still do have talent, even though on the offensive side, like you said, Kincaid. When you talk about James Cook, James Cook ain't even scratched the surface yet. That's young Marshall Faulk, if you ask me. And you got fucking Khalil Shakir, and who knows what Justin Shorter's potential is. And we know they'll likely draft a receiver, no matter what. And like you said, young offensive lineman that's growing, Torrance, Spencer Brown, and then Josh Allen himself, not even 29, whatever. So again, we're still focusing on the game that's at hand, but it's funny when you hear the whispers like, I don't know if they don't win it this year. I don't know. Like, if they don't win it this year, what?
Right.
We got stars all over the place. So, anyways, I'll probably say similar to you as far as game ball from the Patriots game. I'll probably have to stick to defense and say Ed Oliver and Terrell Bernard. I think Bernard to me it continues to just be that attacking linebacker that we've missed from the middle linebacker standpoint in a while. Like Tremaine Edmonds was the typical middle linebacker that you want in the defense because he's 6'5", 250, rangy, long arms, just and you just wanted him to be that guy, but to see someone actually in the middle of that defense cause as much havoc as Terrell Bernard is doing, I just want to say big shout out to him, big shout out to his preparation, his
Yeah. I do want to add though, they do ask him to do different things than Edmonds were doing. So like this linebacker play is a little bit different than it was. Cause I mean, now having two coverage linebackers and Milano and Bernard, their roles are a little bit different than when it was Milano and just Edmonds. I mean, you're not really seeing Bernard just straight drop back in 10, 12 yard zones. covering just the middle of the field. So like their roles are a little bit different, but he's thriving in it, and it's actually probably a little bit better for the defense. Add a little bit more athleticism, but I just wanted to kind of point that out.
Yeah, I mean
So
that's not a bad observation. I think it is what it is. You play to your player strengths. I think
yeah,
they knew with him coming out of Baylor, he was an attacking linebacker. Like
right.
Baylor kept him around the football. And I think Sean McDermott realized like if I'm gonna have this linebacker succeed, I'm gonna have to bring him around the football. I'm gonna have to bring
Yeah.
him after the quarterback. And it
And he's
has
showing those exact same traits in the league.
yeah, and that's the thing I love because again, I tried to go back to what I saw in college from him. I'm like, what stood out from him that made him a third round pick as an undersized linebacker? And it was the fact that he would get behind the line of scrimmage. It was that he would get to the quarterback. And I'm just like, all right, shit, fuck it. If you can be anything close to what Matt Milano brought to our defense, I'm cool with it. And again, shout out to the defensive coaches. Shout out to McDermott specifically for trusting what he was seeing early on in camp and trusting their evaluation from the draft process to be like, you know what, this second year guy might have something that can really
Mm-hmm.
elevate our defense because this defense is definitely playing better than what we got out of last year's defense. And to do that, missing an all pro linebacker like Milano and an all pro corner in Tre'Davious.
Yeah, and it was huge getting Daquan Jones back because he
Oh, yeah.
already made his impact felt. The way
Yeah.
he was just penetrating
Right.
the middle
Yeah.
of the guards.
Right. Thought Tim Settle had a good game as well. Tim Settle was all over the field. Just all like I said, I think they just all feeding off each other. Like I said, you can only
The
imagine.
energy level was crazy.
Yeah, and you can only imagine how they feel too. You got to think about it with the amount of veterans and young guys that they got. When they see one make a play, it's like, yo, I want to be next.
Yeah,
Like,
and
oh,
it was good to see AJ back out there again. Again, he only missed a game or maybe two, but either
yeah,
way, it was good to see Ebenezer back out there because
yeah,
again, that's just one more healthy body. And and we didn't even talk about it. That's with Vaughn being inactive. They came and say like, "Hey, bro, we need better." But whoever was out there put the work in because I don't even think Kingsley Jonathan got a ton of snaps. So I mean,
he got in on one rush. I know I saw 59
yeah,
out there.
yeah, he was out there a couple, but I mean, shit, Jack Lawson be out there holding it down. And still not getting a ton of pressure, but he does what he needs to do, holding that edge.
And that's what they like. I mean, the one
Hmm.
thing I'll give Shaq credit for is he might play 30% of the snaps. He gonna get involved in a couple plays.
Yeah,
And I think that's what they want. Like they don't want motherfuckers out there just fucking running cardio, just just
yeah,
just running by people. Like that ain't the object of playing defensive end. And it's
yeah. That's a juice player, man. He get the crowd amped. You get them boys ready to roll. So I mean, there's value in that type of player. It's an energy player. He's doing what he's supposed to do. But I mean, that line as a whole is just humming.
yep, they got to hum this week. So good
Shit,
transition.
all yeah, yeah, yeah.
Good transition.
All, yeah, 100%. So we are now transitioning over to week 18, win and maybe go home, win or go home, excuse me. I mean, this is the strangest, almost the most strange scenario that you can have where you have a top tier team. I think most unbiased people would say Bills are probably, if you had the power rank teams, they're probably somewhere between 1-5, 1-6 at most.
Right.
And the way it's playing out, the team has the potential not even to be in the playoffs at all. Like I can be the 2 seed or I can be on the couch. Like,
Right.
how the fuck did this happen? I mean, granted, we know how it happened, but just the fact that it played out this way is crazy. But at the end of the day, it's all in their own. It's in their own hands.
Yeah, and that's what I love. I mean, it's a control your destiny. Like you remember
Literally.
yeah, you remember 4 or 5 weeks ago, all we were really asking for was to control our own destiny.
Yep. Give me a
And
chance in week 18.
right, we kept saying like, oh, if this team lose, this team lose. They were like, man, if we can get to that point where it's like, yo, win these 2 games and get in.
Without
And,
help.
and it really came down to that. Like, this
Mhm.
is not, and this is why I'm cool. Like, I got a couple people that messaged me that were like, oh, I know you stressed out and this and that. I said, I'm not, because I survived the drought when it was always only way you can get in is if this person
With a
loses.
win and 5 other
Yeah,
scenarios going your
if this
way.
motherfucker jump out the window, like all types of weird shit. Like,
Oakland and Pittsburgh need to tie.
yeah,
Minnesota got to beat somebody by 15.
yeah,
Like
like and the Lakers got to beat the fucking Hornets or some weird shit. Like,
with LeBron on the bench.
Yeah, like nah, this is Bills win the game
That's it.
and you get the number 2 seed and the division title. So with that on the line, with the amount of veterans that they have, I'm really not worried. Like, should I always have in the back of my head, hey, you're a Bills fan. Remember, things can get ugly. Of course. But guess what? You can't, especially as a fan, you can't live in that space because if you live in that space, you're only setting yourself up to be um all messed up for leading up to that game, through that
Hmm.
game. Like I said, you know me, I'm gonna be there. So like I know I'm gonna have to temper myself throughout the whole weekend. Like, hey, enjoy it. Whatever
Yeah.
happens Sunday night, I
You
can't
know what
change.
I am saying though? Like, it'll make my life a lot easier if Baltimore somehow beat Pittsburgh for me on Saturday night. Because if
Nice.
I can get through all of Sunday stress free, just knowing that they're already in, it's
Yeah,
gonna do wonders for my heart. I'm just gonna
yeah.
throw that out there.
Nah, I mean, and that's just being real, right? Like we always want to say, nah, it don't matter.
Yeah,
Uh,
no, fuck that. It do matter.
exactly.
Yeah, no, hell no. Listen, if I can go in there knowing I'm in regardless, I still want that 2 seed, obviously. But if I go into Sunday night knowing that either Pittsburgh lost or Jacksonville lost and I already got a spot, oh, it's gravy.
Right. And like I said, most Bills fans gonna agree with you. Like it's very, very helpful if that does happen to help us out because making the Bills on Sunday night at 8:20 you
Have to
know,
win.
have
But
to win.
again, man, this team generally rises up to the pressure. So
Right.
like even shit, it's more than likely that Pittsburgh gonna win and Jacksonville gonna win. So I mean, it's a good chance that that pressure gonna be on, and it's gonna be win or go home.
Gonna be on Josh and the boy. And again, who you want to bet your money on? Do you want to bet your money on Tua and Hill and Mostert and a couple of those other guys? I don't know, Jalen Ramsey. So we mentioned what, four guys right there.
Yeah, I
Or do
think
you
I think it'll be not saying it's gonna be. I mean, I don't think it's gonna be a blowout either way. Like I don't expect that. It's too big of a game, too familiar of foes for that to happen, in my opinion.
right?
But the way Miami walking into this game right now, injury wise,
Licking the
I
wounds.
wouldn't feel amazing if I was a Dolphins fan.
Nah, and that's why you already starting to hear like online. You're already starting to
Oh
see.
yeah, them excuses already started.
Oh man, they don't roll them, man. Like I don't know how I end up with some of this shit on my timeline, but it still ends up on my timeline. But
Yeah, I got
like,
to start muting certain words or
yeah, I
something.
think that's what I got to do too, because I'm already like, and Bills fans, we fall into that trap where we feel like we got to reply to them.
Oh yeah,
Luckily,
yeah, a lot of people just chase it.
yeah, luckily for me this year, it hasn't been like that because I've somehow avoided being in a lot of those conversations just by staying in my own lane. But like, yeah, I mean, they're talking about the guys that they got out and this top rated center, this top rated guard.
Yeah, I mean, granted, they got some injuries,
Nah,
but
and
at
it's
the end of the
no
day, you
doubt.
got to show up.
But that's a fact. And like I said, you want out of all fan bases to feel bad. You want Bills fans.
Right. For you, nah,
You
bro.
and not even just as a whole, like the things that we've dealt with from this year to last year to years prior, like injuries has always been like one of our things. I think
Yeah, ain't
maybe
nobody say nothing last year when we played y'all in that damn heat and lost like 7 people in
yeah,
game.
yeah, we was
On top
down
of
to
like
like
3 people already hurt.
right, we was down to almost having to put a running back in there at right guard or some shit. Like it
Right.
was getting
Ain't
ugly.
yeah, ain't nobody say nothing then. Okay, cool. Don't say
It
shit
was like,
now.
oh, you guys are afraid of the sun and shut up, you fucking whiny Bills fans. And then we blew y'all ass out. I mean, well, we ain't blow y'all out, but then we beat y'all the next two times. And then we blew y'all out in week 4 when that was supposed to be the big test. So it's like, y'all know y'all lost the last 3 games to us since the heat wave game, right? Yeah, I know
But
John,
even then, yeah, I still ain't stopped this offense.
right.
Yeah, I haven't stopped this offense in years.
And
We ain't even
years.
slowed it up.
Right. The Heat game was the only time I can remember the Bills scoring less than like 30 points on them or scoring less than 27 points. So again, when that moment is do or die, and when that moment is, hey, Josh, we need you to play at your best, normally Josh steps up. Like I said, the last disappointing big game moment I remember from Josh that I can think of is probably week 1 against the Jets and then going all the way back to last year against Cincinnati in the playoffs. Outside of that, I got complete confidence in the guy. I got complete confidence in the defense because as long as Poyer, Micah Hyde, Ed Oliver, and Rasul Douglas in the lineup, along with those other guys, Daquan Jones, Greg Rousseau, and everybody else that you mentioned, the Leonard Floyds, the AJ Epinezas, the Terrell Bernards.
The
Bro,
defense is what's giving me confidence.
right. Because you telling me Tua got to hurry up and get the ball out quick and do what he normally does? Tell you right now, against this secondary and this front seven,
Yeah, potentially no Waddle again. I mean, Tyreek Hill does not look like himself. You can tell he's not 100%.
and to get it to Tyreek Hill, think about what you got to do. You got
Right.
to block up because
Mhm.
that quick stuff, they're gonna jump those quick things. Like the Bills have shown when they play Miami, they are very good at taking away their first read. Like Miami, like Bills have Miami script down pat. Like even with Mike McDaniel not doing too much different from what they've been doing the last 4 or 5 years. They know what to as quarterback, get the ball out quick. Let's get it in our playmakers' hands, which is cool. But I think if Miami is smart, they would try to get his hand, they would try to get his ball in hands on reverses, um, pitching it out to their running backs, things like that, because those are where you can kind of get the Bills and use some of that aggressiveness and take advantage of it. But if you're looking to do quick slants or boom, 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 quick over the middle, good luck because the Bills defenders going to have their hands up. And we already know these athletic defensive linemen that we got, once they get their hands up, anything can happen. It could be an interception. Um, it could be interception. Like anything is possible. So like I'm looking for that front seven and I'm looking for our secondary to just be on alert for everything short, everything intermediate. Like I said, hey, if they are able to protect for 2.5, 3 seconds and get a deep shot, okay, we'll see what happens. But I wouldn't bet on it. That's all I'm gonna say. I wouldn't bet on it. I think Rasul Douglas is gonna be a key factor in this game, because this is his kind of game. Because it's again, it's taking away that first read. And if there's anything that Rasul does better than probably 95% of corners in this league, is he going to take away whatever you think your first option is. So if you thinking underneath, he on top of you. If you think you want to run a little quick pattern across the middle, he on top of you. He going to run it better than you, like he did on the one in the game on Sunday. Oh, you want to run this route? Nah, fam, I got you. I'm gonna run this better than you, and I'm gonna pick it off. So I like it. That's all I'm gonna say. So what's your favorite matchup of the game, man? What's your favorite matchup of the game? Talk to me.
It's again, I mean, I mentioned injuries before, and Miami's rolling in with a banged up O line. I mean, across the board. So, I mean, my key matchup is Bills D line against Miami's O line. At the end of the day, if they can't pass protect, if they can't open up no holes for Achan and maybe Mostert if he's back, then it's gonna be issues. Again, I think Tua is a very good quarterback, but when, as you mentioned, that first read is not there, or even the first two reads are there, he tends to get real happy feet,
Right.
tends to not make those same good decisions that he's generally making, and that's when he gets himself into some issues. So if that O line can't hold up, then I can see Miami running into some issues. Obviously, with track stars on their team, that big play threat is always there.
Right.
But I think I have some confidence in this because even going back to Kansas City days, outside of I think one game, Tyreek Hill is not having massive games against the Bills. They figured out a way to kind of keep the top on him.
Right.
So, but you got to keep tabs on him at all times, especially if Waddle's out. Like, yeah, nah, fuck that. I don't care how many people you got to put on Hill. Don't let him beat you. But I think my key matchup is that it's the Bills D line versus Miami's O line, and in particular the Bills D tackles. So interior is where Miami's really hurt, especially with Connor Williams banged up and maybe playing, maybe not playing. I think that's where the money's going to be made. Again, I'm expecting Oliver to keep wreaking havoc. Daquan Jones, I expect him to make his impact felt. But Puna Four has been having the great last 2 weeks since he's been in there.
Yeah, I like what Puna.
Um, yeah, I'm assuming they're gonna roll with that same rotation and have Linval Joseph as inactive. And if they do, again, I expect Puna to be good. Ten Settles had the last 2-3 games have been good as well. So, I expect that just to continue. I'm also expecting them probably to keep that same D in rotation too,
Yeah.
and probably have Vaughn sitting down and
Maybe that one I'm not
yeah, Like they can
That
go either way. Whoever
yeah,
whoever that fifth end is not getting a lot of snaps. So whether it's Jonathan or if it's Vaughn, I
yeah.
mean, we talking 15, 20 snaps.
Right. And the only reason why I think Von might be active is because with everything on the line, they might try to see if a certain type of Von makes an
Yeah.
appearance just for week 18.
It
So
wouldn't surprise me if he was down again, but then come playoff time, they're like, all right, bro,
yeah,
you got a shot. If you want it, come get it. If not,
yeah. But
then
this
not.
is
But
marbles though, so he might be active because this is really do or die because they could go
yeah,
home.
you're right. I agree with that. I wouldn't be mad at it.
Of course, nah. I don't think nobody would.
I
Uh,
mean, his career and his name, he's earned the benefit of the doubt, in my opinion.
yeah, you
Whether
get
he's been, yeah, whether he's been playing good this season or not, which it's not, but
right,
he still earned the benefit of the doubt in my book.
right. Um,
So what you got? What you think your key matchup is?
I think honestly it's two. It goes two ways. Is the wide receiver corner matchups. I think that
Both ways, talking.
ways, man. Ty Hill versus the Bills corners, specifically Rasul Douglas, and then Diggs versus Ramsey. I think that anytime
You
you got,
think they're gonna have Ramsey shadowing Diggs because they
I think
haven't
they
really
might.
had him shadow anybody.
I think they only might do it because of Xavier Howard being out. I
Mm.
know Howard, I think, is week to week. And the last time they had that other corner on Diggs, Diggs ate that corner.
Yeah, they can't roll. Was it Kohu? Kohu?
He,
No,
he
Kohu.
violated. He
Yeah,
violated
they
homeboy.
listen. They got to figure out. They might have to throw Eli Apple out there,
Hey,
which
what they say, Eli Apple is probably going to see some snaps, which I'm all for because Eli was talking hella shit last time he knocked us
Eli
out.
was getting torched last week too.
I know, but he was talking crazy after that Cincinnati game last year. So
Oh yeah, please let Eli Apple show
yeah,
up and let him line up against Diggs.
I would love to get the Eli Apple revenge game because he swore he was locking down Diggs last year, and I'm just like, dog, like not even close. Like, cut it out. But yeah. So I would love to see what that matchup looks like. I know I thought Diggs was due for a big game this past week, and again, they were just one or two missed plays away from Diggs having a 100-yard game with a touchdown.
Hmm.
Because really just that you missed an opportunity to connect on it that really kind of changes the game, gives y'all a little more separation. So I still think Diggs is due for one. Obviously that's the combo they've been talking about more so on the radio the last 2 days, but like it's really just connecting on those one or two. Like he's getting the short stuff. I know there's been some drops here and there, but he's getting the short intermediate stuff. It's just like how can we get him to get back to what he was doing the first 5, 6 weeks where he's catching it in stride
100 yards and a touchdown every game.
right, where he's able to make a play after the catch, where he can get in end zone. Because that was the biggest thing that got him over 100 yards during the first half of the season was a lot of running after catch stuff because he was being kind of led to making a play after he caught the ball. So it doesn't
Mhm.
have to be a deep strike for 60 yards. It's just more so getting
Can I
it
catch a 15-yard joint in stride?
right, just finding different creative ways to like string them open. We see Dallas do it with CD Lamb. We see shit, a lot of good offenses find creative ways to get their guys open. We know Kansas City does it with Travis Kelsey, even though he plays a different position, but scheme them open. And I think that's Brady's next challenge is like, hey, you found ways to effectively run the ball at important times. You found ways to get other receivers and other weapons involved. Now it's how can I get my number one easier targets and not just on screens? Like we get that's a cute, easy way to do it, but no, I need it actually going past the first down marker so that he's already past the first down. We're not talking about 2nd and 4. We're not talking about 2nd and 6. No,
Right.
let him catch the ball over 10 yards, and then maybe he can make some shit happen. So I'm excited to see what that matchup looks like. Diggs has had success against Ramsey in the past. Allen has had success against Ramsey in the past. We don't even know if they won't even know if their starting safety is going to be back there. Their Pro Bowl safety, Javon Holland. He might play, he might not. And then on the flip side again, Rasul Douglas versus Tyreek Hill. Bills likely won't shadow because they don't do things like that. But just when they do match up, like I said, it's gonna be chess. Because I'm telling you right now, they might use his aggressiveness against him, but it's like how much time are you going to really get to take advantage of that? You might catch
Mhm.
Douglas on a pump fake, but is Tua going to get that extra second and a half to get his feet set and launch that ball down the field before a Micah Hyde or a Poyer gets there? So there's going to be a lot of chess involved in this game from a receiver and versus secondary standpoint. I give the edge to the Bills just because the Bills secondary right now is healthy. as healthy as it's going to be. Both they starting corners is playing right now for the time being, and both they all pro safeties is playing. On the flip side, we can't say that with Miami. So I'm trying to give Bills receivers the advantage, even though the Bills receivers haven't had the best stretch recently. But I have to believe Diggs is going to come alive eventually. I have to. Like every once in a while, you got to be like, man, Kobe gonna catch fire. Steph Curry gonna start knocking down threes.
Right.
That's the way I'm looking at Josh and Diggs. Like these motherfuckers is too good of players to tell
Yeah.
me they're gonna be in a funk for a whole
The
month and
whole
2 months.
yeah. You got to keep shooting.
Exactly. Exactly. We say shooters keep shooting. So again, I hope the game plan is just to be effectively, just be efficient on offense. Don't turn the ball over. Like I said, still take advantage of James Cook. Can't forget that James Cook just went on a stretch where he was like the best player on offense for like 4 weeks. So
Mm,
don't run away from giving him the ball on 2nd and 5 and on 2nd and 4 to pick up that first down, because I think that was one of the small things that pissed me off during the game was like we had some manageable downs and we just got too cute. It's like, no, James Cook, number 4, is back there for a reason. I know he had a couple drops, but it's like, still get the ball in his hands. Let's continue to build his confidence because he's going to be one of the biggest reasons if we get into the playoffs. He's going to be one of the biggest reasons why we score points
mhm.
because of what he can do when the ball is in his hands. So, um, yeah, so that's really my main matchup of the game. Um, we try to go. I know we about 40 minutes in now, but we try to go for um obviously our statistical predictions or what we think the score going to be and all of that. But before we do that, did you have any other thing you want to add for the Miami game? I mean, I know it's a huge game, but
Yeah.
shit, for the
Again, man, lights are brightest. This is a game I need my $200 million quarterback to show up. Granted, I don't think his contract that big, but either way, I need my $150 million quarterback to show
I
up.
think it is. I think his was 250. I think.
Yeah, so this is when I need you to show up. I need you to be 17. We already know you the dog. We know you got the talent. We know you've done it. None of that is within question. But right now, we ain't seen it lately.
So
And
so
that
why you a
whole
top
offense take their
quarterback?
cue from you. A whole team take their cue from you, dog. This is the game when you want to hurdle a motherfucker, you want to run through a motherfucker, you want to stiff arm. Listen, hey, bro, go do you. Because right now the season on the line, dog.
This is it.
You say big dog. This the game where you go show them.
Listen, I would have to think the Stars are going to show up, and from a health standpoint, we got more Stars healthy than they do. We got more dogs healthy than they
And it's
do.
the most healthy we've been since the beginning of the damn season.
Right. And again, what you want to do? Do
Yeah,
you want the division? Do you want to be at home? Do you want to?
bro. Listen, you take care of business on Sunday. You guarantee yourself 2 home games, as long as you take care of business in the wild card round. But bro, that's a massive difference between 2 home games. If everything you go your way, you potentially go on the road against Baltimore compared to you sneak your way into a wild card. You got 3 road games at best.
Yeah,
That road look completely different.
do man. Taking care of business. Let's do it, man.
Yeah. And
All right,
from a small roster change, I'd probably let Latavius Murray sit this one out and bring Fournette up this week.
I was thinking that too.
Uh,
I ain't gonna hold you.
these drops that Latavius having. I mean, Grant, he got lucky a couple weeks ago with that crazy ass play Josh had, and he had that fake catch fumble.
Yeah.
And then now each of the last couple weeks, you done had another drop on top of that. And that damn 3rd and 1 play where you ran into your own man and didn't get it. Like, yeah, I'm gonna need you to I'm gonna need you to sit this one out.
Yeah, playoff Lenny, come on.
Yeah,
And
come on, Lenny.
I think
It ain't Ty Johnson that's
Leonard,
coming out because Ty Johnson been balling.
yeah, Ty Johnson been balling. I definitely thought that. I was thinking that earlier today. I'm like Leonard Fournette definitely needs to
Ty
get.
Johnson is a number 2 running back right now.
Yeah, Ty, you get
That's the
Ty.
number 2 option, and the
Yeah.
numbers are showing that. But
Oh yeah,
yeah, it's time to get Fournette back up here and I think I let Murray sit this one out.
yeah. Even from a pass protection standpoint and all of that, like Leonard Fournette has been there.
It's a wash between those two. They're both above average pass blockers. They're fine.
Give me Leonard Fournette. So
Yeah,
I agree on that. Statistically, what you got, man?
shit. I just want to say that I missed both my predictions last week. My joint was in. Listen, I had a Von Miller sack. That shit was over for the game even started.
For the game will
So
start.
I think I had that one. I think I had five or more sacks. I think we only got 3. but we should have had more.
I'm about to say we might have had because I know Ed had one. I know Terrell Bernard had two. So we might have been. So you might have been. You're right, three or four.
I
Yeah.
think we had three. But either way, it was close. But this week, man, I've been banking on a Diggs bet for a minute, and they ain't been hitting. So I'm not gonna do it this week. Granted, think he's gonna have a big game, but I'm banking on Big Gabe. Get big game day Gabe this week. I
Okay.
think Gabriel Davis is gonna have himself a day.
Okay.
So I'm thinking I don't think it'll be 9, 10 catches because Gabe has never been that guy.
Okay.
But I'm thinking 5 catches, 112 yards, 2 touchdowns. 112.
Na 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 na. Okay. And I'll go
But
off.
again, and the reason why I'm saying that is I do expect Ramsey to run with Diggs all day. So I'm expecting a lot of either Eli Apple or Coder Cahu, Cater Kohu on Gabe. And
Okay.
I think that's a advantage game. So I expect Josh to be able to find him for a couple big plays, couple touchdowns.
Okay. I'm gonna make it pretty simple. I got 6 catches for Diggs, 114 yards, and a touchdown. I've been saying that now for the last couple weeks, so I feel like one of these weeks it got to hit. But I definitely
Gotta
feel like
give.
yeah, but I feel like it got to be this week because I mean it's a big moment. I mean, anytime the coach, fresh off of victory, mentions getting him the ball, it's gonna be emphasized all week throughout
The
practice. Like, oh
coach, the quarterback,
yeah, the coach,
coordinator,
quarterback,
they all
coordinator.
mentioned it.
So you're gonna see some plays wrinkled in there that we probably haven't seen all season. That's gonna be geared towards him getting the ball. So I would say around 6, 7 catches. I'll just say six to just keep it simple. Six, 114 yards, one touchdown. I got James Cook getting over 100 from scrimmage. Not sure if it's all gonna come from rushing, but I
Mhm.
feel like they're gonna try to make sure he get his 15, 20 touches a game, just to keep the defense honest. Because one thing you don't want them to do is just pin their errors back and just get after Josh. So I think they're gonna
Even
try.
without their top rushers, they still got Christian Wilkins
Right, and they can still send
and
pressure.
some other
Like they can
players. And
they
Van
can still
Ginkel.
blitz. Yeah, they can still blitz and get creative
Mhm.
because they got a lot to play for too. They got pride. They don't want to give the division away.
Yeah,
So
and Tusi on the line for them too. So
yeah, and like I said, they got a little more comfort from us because it's not do or die for them. Like they're
yeah,
in the
they're already in. But
right.
either way, they don't
Either
want them to
way,
give that division up.
right. Either way, you at home and you don't want to hear about the Bills coming into your house.
Right. Because it's either listen, they win and they have Houston or something coming to see them, or they lose and they go to Kansas City.
Right, right.
But,
So
I know
so
they rather have that home game, so it's a big game for them too.
the
And
fact.
they're gonna be
So
ready too.
yeah, so like I said, I got Cook and Diggs being the leaders of the clubhouse. Obviously, I think the X factors, like Knox and Kincaid and Gabe, I think they're gonna have to make plays when called upon. Again, if Leonard Fournette gets that call up, I think they'll bring him in there on some good short yardage, maybe a goal line situation where it's like, you know what, we need 2, 3 here. Leonard, go push yourself in the end zone. Let's get on the board because I know they've been using Josh a lot for that, but with Josh dealing with a little small shoulder stuff and collarbone. I think it'd be best if they can get a big bruiser in there in those situations just to take that pressure off of Josh because we know Josh, he'll do whatever it takes. At the same time, if we really try and make a Super Bowl run, I need him, man, just relax a little bit. But when it comes, we know he's going to be Superman. But in those short yard situations, I'm looking for Leonard Fournette, Ty Johnson to get the tough yards. And again, Cook, get him outside, get him in the open field. Because we know once Cook turn that corner, he can go 20 yards, he can go 30, 40. So I'm looking for Cook to have a big game. I think Diggs, again, everybody on that coaching staff seems to know, like, yo, the only way we're gonna look explosive on offense from both sides of the standpoint is if we get number 14 involved and not just on wide receiver screens. So that's what I'm expecting. And then quickly, I'll just say defensively, I'm looking at another Ed Oliver sack because guess what? Why not? Um,
Hmm.
and I also think you'll get a couple of interceptions from our safeties. I think that the safeties, along with the corners, are going to play a big role in this game. But I think we get one from each to seal the deal. I think we got Poyer and Hyde possibly getting an interception each as they make as they put their stamp on this game in the second half. And I'll turn it over to you to go with a score prediction, and then I'll give you mine.
All right. I think this will be a relatively close game. Like I think there's too much on the line for it to be a too much of a blowout.
Right.
So I do think it's going to be a Bills win. Feel like the desperation swings it in their favor, and also the banged up Miami team that's going to be filled. Again, they still got talent on the team, so I'm not diminishing what they are going to have out there, but they got a lot of key players hurt or questionable or banged up. So I think that's going to be enough to allow Bills to walk in there and get a dub. I'm thinking something along the lines of 31-21. Um, like I said, I think it'd be close, but I think it'd be either a late field goal or a late touchdown that kind of pushes them up to that double digit point.
Okay. For me, I got a 27-20. So I got to be in the 20s just because I think it's going to be a physical defensive game at certain moments in the game, just because it's going to be a lot of emotion. So I feel like first half might be 10-10, might be 10-7, who knows? But I think that the Bills will, start to separate themselves in like the second half of the fourth quarter. Last 8 minutes of the game where it's like, Josh, get a first down. Get us down here to get this, this game clinching touchdown to put us up 7 points. So I feel like it'll definitely come down to fourth quarter. Unfortunately, I know Bills fans, we hate that. But I think Miami is going to give us a couple good swings.
Mm-hmm.
The Bills are just right now, they're at a point where it's like, I think every man in that locker room knows how important this game is. And we can say the same for Miami, but I feel like from a Buffalo Bills standpoint, it's like, yo, we done came this far. If we win all these games, 4 in a row and all of it, and
To
we
let
have
Miami take us out? Yeah.
and be on the couch, nah. So I think they're gonna come in with that, it's kind of like the mentality they had against Dallas, where it's like, let's come bully mindset. Let's beat a more physical team. Let's beat a team to punch them in the mouth first, because that's when the Bills are at their best. When they start off the game, and I know they did it defensively last week or on Sunday, but when they start off the game, both sides of the ball being physical, being dominant at the line of scrimmage, that's when you know you in a long one against the Bills. It's not when they doing a bunch of cute shit and they're fucking going 3 passes in a row that's going out of bounds and now they punting the ball. That's not the Bills. That's not the Bills team that dominates. Bills are dominant when they're controlling that line of scrimmage and they're sending a message early, whether it is with a quick turnover to start the game, whether it is with a special teams play. I remember, I forgot what game it was. Maybe it was the Jets game where they start off the game with a forced fumble on the kickoff. Quentin Morris, I
That
think,
was
made
a
it.
second Jets game.
Yeah. And like that's when the Bills are at their best. That's when it's like, oh, okay, we getting this team today. All right, say less. Let me sit back down in my seat because y'all got any popcorn? All right, shit, it's about to be a good one. That's when we know. So like we'll know what we need to know from like the first quarter, how this game is gonna go, because you're gonna see a hit. You know what I mean? You're gonna see a Josh Allen run for 15 yards where he gets up and he does a gesture, and we're gonna be like, oh, okay, we getting that one. Or a Diggs catch, you know what I mean, one-handed or whatever, and he pumping his chest. That's when we're gonna be in the stadium like, all right, Dolphins fans, y'all might want to y'all got a party to go to after this. All right, cool. Yeah, y'all might want to fucking get in that line. I heard it's free before midnight.
Ah,
Because we here to have a fucking party our damn selves, but we got to go to the hotel after this. But like, I know y'all like to, you know what I mean? You might as well go ahead, go home, get the car started. Because the Bills are normally when they on their A game, from the first couple drives. So I'm hoping that that's what leads to Bills maybe getting ahead a little early. And like I said, it's gonna be a battle. So I got a 7 point win, hopefully more than that, but 27-20 is my prediction.
mhm.
And that's what I'm gonna ride with. One of these days, I'm gonna come in here and get the full stack, the whole shit
And
correct.
I started out the season hot. I've been cold lately. My joints ain't been hitting at all.
It's been tough to predict the Bills this year, man. I'm sorry. The Bills do it. They do it to us because they tease us one week and then the next week they got us like last week. I'm like, yeah, 38-0, which it could have been. Like the
It
way they was
is,
playing.
man. Yeah.
But then the nigga ran the kick on the first one. I'm like,
Yeah, it was a rapid media. Listen, I thought about you as soon as it happened. I said, well, that 38 nothing ain't
yeah,
hitting.
yeah, ain't no shutout. And that's what I mean though. Like the Bills will really let you know what kind of game you in for normally early in the game. Um,
Mm.
and that's why we gonna need all three phases this week. All three phases got to be on point, man. Whether it's a forced fumble on the kickoff, whether it's Tyler Bass knocking the shit down the middle, or Deontay Hardy breaking one shit. We still waiting for him to break a punt return because teams are punting to us. It's like, dog, can we just get one? Can I get a 30-yard return? Can I get a teaser? Can I get you tripped up? You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean,
Something.
Yeah, let me
Yeah.
go hunting, boy. Like, I know you ain't involved in the offense, but man, let us make use of you back there. We can call up Andy Isabella. Shit.
No,
Uh,
not as a belly.
a belly. But around the league, what you got for me, man? You know, we normally
Yeah,
do.
so we're gonna switch it up a little bit. I just want us to kind of pick the instead of doing the locks and the upsets of the week. I kind of just want to pick the rest of these AFC games of note, the one that got playoff implications, and just kind of get your thoughts on them, see what you think is going to play out. Um, so the first one of importance is the Pittsburgh Baltimore game.
I got
Would
Baltimore.
you?
I
You know what?
I'm rooting for them, but I got Tyler Huntley, and I feel like real quick, and I'm gonna let you go. I feel like Harbaugh is going to want to like kind of like stick it to Pittsburgh a little bit because those games are always tough when it's a division game because it's like, yeah, I want to rest my starters. Like the Bills did it 3 years ago against Miami. It's like, yeah, I want to rest my starters, but I know you got this little glimmer of hope. So just because of that, we gonna bust your ass in the first half and then we gonna chill out in the second half because the Bills did it to Miami 3 years ago. Everybody was
Mm,
like, all Miami gotta do is beat the Bills. Bills probably gonna play Matt Barkley and this and that. And Bill said, yeah, but we still gonna hang
in
40
the
on you.
second half.
Right. We still gonna hang 40 plus on you.
Yeah,
So again, when it's a divisional matchup, I get it. No, they only gonna play backups. Guess what? I still hate y'all.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
still in my
still
division, and I don't fuck with y'all. And you can't sit everybody.
right.
There's no way to sit everybody. And I think back to the way Tyler Huntley has played, when Lamar has been hurt. And he's held his own. Like
Yeah.
he's not a slouch. He's an athletic player. Pittsburgh obviously has a good defense, but the biggest thing is like somehow Pittsburgh always figure out a way to scratch and claw out wins. That's what they do. But man, I don't trust a quarterback room. I, you telling me y'all season on the line and y'all rolling out Mason Rudolph and I'm supposed to pick that with confidence?
Nah, buddy.
Can't. And
Hey,
again, I still know the talent that's on Denver or excuse me on Baltimore. They can't rest everybody, and I don't even know if they're gonna rest their starters the whole game because again, they already got the bye wrapped up. So y'all gonna sit y'all players for 2 weeks
they got 42 running backs that can all run the ball. So
and
if the top
17 tight
two,
ends.
right, if the top two don't run, then even the other two guys back there, they can still tote that rock.
Mhm. Yeah, so you think you got a
I
Baltimore
got
win there?
Baltimore. I don't got that as my lock, but I definitely got Baltimore winning that game by like 3 points, just on some like,
All
yeah.
right, so let me plug that in. We got a Baltimore win. So next up, we got Houston and Indy. So
That's an easy,
that game, as long as that's not a tie, one of those teams will end up in either 6 or 7.
right. That's an
Uh,
easy one for me. I got Houston on that. I don't know what you
yeah,
got.
I'm going with who I trust more at quarterback. And it sounds weird saying I'm trusting a rookie quarterback more, but
He,
he has single handedly won games for that team, and Gardner Minshew has not.
he's in there.
Um, they Stroud is a beast. Will Anderson, that other rookie, has been putting up numbers. Stingley back there has been getting picks left and right. I think Houston's just a way more dangerous team.
Yep. They deserve it too. They play well all year. Like they fought in every game. So I
Yeah.
can go with Houston. Um,
Okay. Okay. Let me see what else we got. That one don't matter no more. All right. Jacksonville, Tennessee.
you know what? That's an iffy one. I really think that's a toss up because I heard Vrabel in a press conference recently, and he seemed upset that there was a notion that he should just lay down in this last game. I think that's a close one. I think Jacksonville, if Trevor Lawrence, like this one has an asterisk because if
Yeah,
Trevor
Lawrence is I think is expected to play.
okay, so if he plays, I got Jacksonville winning because I think he's at a point in his career where he can win these games.
Listen, I'll say this. If Trevor Lawrence plays, for his sake, he better win.
Oh yeah,
Because
because
you telling me if you got your season on the line, you running up against Tennessee with nothing to play for, and you can't finish that off, yeah, that's not a good look for you, Trevor. Banged up or not. Um, but I'll say this: if Will Levis is healthy enough to play, I think Tennessee has a puncher's chance.
they're gonna fight.
But yeah, if they rolling out Tannehill, yeah, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
Either
Listen,
way, I'm still picking Jacksonville for this one. I really don't see any other outcome that's real logical. And we'd already done picked the Bills Dolphins, so if it plays out that way, we would have Baltimore at the 1 seed, obviously. Bills will be the 2 seed, Kansas City 3, Jacksonville 4, Cleveland 5, Miami 6, Houston 7. So that would have Houston coming to Buffalo
get it.
wild card weekend.
Even though I hate that though, because I don't like us versus mobile quarterbacks. But and he's dynamic doing both. Like he's just not a mobile quarterback. Like he can really throw the ball. But I
Hmm.
don't like McDermott versus young quarterbacks. So that would be like the tip and scale for me is that he could throw something at Stroud that probably Stroud hasn't seen. Um,
Hmm.
you got the linebackers that can like match up with their running backs and things like that, and even him in the open field. Like they may not be able to, chase
So
him
we
down.
got a Devin Singletary revenge game,
Ah man.
Jerry Hughes revenge game.
Oh, chill,
We
chill.
got Robert Woods coming back.
Man. Yeah, it's looking like Buffalo Houston. I wouldn't be mad at it. It at least have some type of storyline in there. I mean, D'Amico
Yeah.
Ryan is a great defensive coach, so
Mhm.
him up against a Josh Allen ran team, like it'd be fun. I mean, I think we'll still beat them by double digits, but it is.
Yeah. Who would you
It,
rather play? Would you rather play Houston or would you rather play Indy?
all right, definitely Indy. And Indy would be like fucking 34-10. Like I don't respect Indy like that. Like it is what it is. I just don't respect. Yeah, I don't have much respect for what. I mean, I know they got Jonathan Taylor back healthy, and they got some good young wide receivers, but nothing
You
about
don't
Indy.
you don't respect the Zach Moss revenge game
Hell no. But Houston, like again, from a standpoint of like how they play, like they play hard. Like
either.
they are like great value Niners when it comes to the effort that they give. And
Yeah, but I will say this team, the offense looks different without Tank Dell.
oh yeah, for sure. I mean, Tank Dell is a
It,
big
it,
piece.
yeah, it's you
That's
can't
like
even negate the impact that
yeah,
missing him is having.
yeah, that's like taking
It's
Zay
been big.
Flowers. Yeah, that's like taking Zay away from Baltimore. Like these young receivers. That's why I say when you can hit on a young rookie receiver like Houston and
Mhm.
Baltimore did, that shit
Yeah,
make
that's why I'm looking at Green Bay right now. Them boys got about 15 of them
got
joints.
15, right. And we know they got JSN out there with the Seahawks. So that, I still have flashbacks thinking about how the Bills kind of missed out and we had to fall. We had to get Kincaid, which obviously still ended up being a good pick. But like how them four wide receivers went back to back to
Yeah,
back.
them boys have not been falling our way. Shit, this year's got to change, bro. The amount of first round and second round receivers that they are projecting, like, yo, bro, we gotta get one of
We
these.
gotta get one. We gotta get one because Gabe gone. So it's like we gotta get one. And I think they will. I think they know and Josh knows, like, yo, I'm all for Kenny's little free agents on these 1 year, 2 year deals, but nah, can I get an explosive young receiver though? Can I get
With some deep threat.
bruh that got some wheels, some Zay Flowers? I'm
Hmm.
telling y'all, I'm like Zay Flowers. I was watching the tape. I'm like that motherfucker.
Bro, I was hoping he fell to the Bills so bad, man.
I'm like he can ball. I knew it. But I like the tape don't lie. When it comes to people like him, the tape don't lie. Like his stop and go, like, whew, that's a baller. That's why I'm like, I know we've defended Baltimore well in the past, but like now that Baltimore got some like
Yeah, it's a
receivers.
different offense now, different coordinator, different style.
I tip my hat to Baltimore, man. They what
Hmm.
seems that you don't want to see into the AFC Championship. Like,
Right,
yeah,
right.
I wait to
And
see
this is
y'all.
without Mark Andrews. It's without
Right,
your best
with your bet, yeah,
weapon,
right. Your All Pro
without
guy.
your bread and butter. Yeah,
Right. So I'm not in no rush to play them, but when we do, we do. Hey, AFC Championship, let's get it.
yeah.
But
We cross that bridge when we get there.
yeah, but once that
Hopefully not. Hopefully they get knocked off as soon. And I mean, could you imagine the AFC coming through Buffalo, bro?
yeah, we've been
Ooh,
thinking about that for
ooh.
the last 4 years, man. So it all starts Sunday though, y'all. We done
Mhm.
held y'all down for an hour now, and normally we save those for the in person, but we do appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. We got views from the couch this week. We got views from inside Hard Rock Stadium. Um,
Sure.
yeah, me and the gang will be there, and hopefully we come back to Buffalo bringing a win. My hope is that I obviously enjoy some time away, get some warm weather in me, but come back with a W, man. I
That's
can't,
it.
but I can imagine how it would be leaving that stadium with an L and hearing fans, blah blah.
Taking a flight home with all that. Yeah, ain't
Y'all
nobody got
pray
time
for
for
me,
that.
man. Yeah, y'all pray for me, man, because y'all know I love my Bills, and I'm passionate, so I don't need no other passionate fans in my face. So we're gonna pray for our safety. We're gonna pray that we have obviously safe travels there, safe travels back. And
Absolutely.
there's no hurt, harm, or danger against us. But like I think we're gonna have a good time. I think the Bills gonna take care of business. And Josh, we trust, and his coaching staff, we trust. Man, they've been telling us to trust the process now for 7 years. So we just hoping that these guys do really bring their A game. And we can come back, reconnect next week, and be talking about Wild Card Weekend.
Yes,
Because
sir. Let's get it, baby.
yeah, Wild Card Weekend is what's up. So y'all, Z, you got anything else you want to hit it with before we sign off?
That's it, man. Listen, hey, squish the fish. That's it.
What's the action fish, man? You know what Leotis McKelvin said.
Nothing else needs to be said, baby.
I mean, so it's Miami week, Fins down, Bills up. You heard the predictions, man. Continue to tune in. We on Spotify, we on Apple, we on YouTube. Connect with us, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend, and hopefully we get back next week talking about Wild Card Weekend because we got to get this done. We're gonna keep the train moving. See y'all, Rasul Douglas, salute. Stephon Diggs in my background, salute. These two gonna have a big week, and we're gonna do this again next week. All right,
Let's go get that 2 seed, y'all.
let's get it. Peace.